Rachel.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
Hi, I'm Coco.
And in this video we're going to be doing Conformation and Lameness for the D3 level of pony. So the first question you'll be asked about Conformation and Lameness on your D3 rating is to name 6 horse breeds, 4 pony breeds, and 5 draft horse breeds. We recommend you know like 2 more about. Someone says it before you, then you'll have nothing else to say when it's your turn around in the rating. So know maybe 2 to 3 more than you should know.
So some horse breeds that you can use are Danish Warmblood, Arabian Thoroughbred, Irish Sport Horse, Quarter Horse, Mustang, Tennessee Walking Horses, and Tricaners. Some pony breeds that you can use, you need 4, are Azteca Pony, Pony of Americas, Connemara Pony, Welsh Pony, Quarter Pony, Highland Pony, and Dartmoor Pony.
You have to know 5 draft breeds for your D3 rating. So some draft breeds are Clydesdale, Percheron, Frisian, Fjord, Haflinger, Belgian, and Dutch Draft. Some conformation faults that a horse can have is their eyes can be really small, so they look a little abnormal. Their nostrils can also be quite small, but he has pretty good sized nostrils. A horse can have a head too big for their body, which can sometimes throw them off balance. Some horses, because of their breeding, can have a dished face, which is when their face kind of dips inward, or they can have a Roman nose, which Mickey kind of has a little bit, where their nose kind of goes a little more outwards. The last thing is a horse can have somewhat of an overbite, which is called a parrot mouth.
Okay, so back conformation, you should know what a long back is. So basically a long back means that the top line of their back, which runs about from here to here, is either about the same size or equal to or longer than the bottom of their back. Long back can make it harder for the horse to bring their haunches underneath them, and so it can make it hard for like dressage work and impulsion and stuff. The horse can have mutton withers, which means their withers are very flat, and that can make it harder for them to fit a saddle to them and can cause soundness issues later. Also, high withers are when the withers are really high, and that can also be hard to fit a saddle because a lot of the time the saddle will bridge on them, and that can hurt their back, and it also cause soundness issues later. A horse's back should be uphill. That means the withers should be above their haunches. That helps the horse be able to collect their stride and have impulsion and dressage work, rather than their butt being above them, which would make them downhill, and they wouldn't be able to put weight on their back end very easily. So for shoulder conformation, you can measure the angles 2 ways. One way would be to measure this angle, which is, you can see right here by the indents in his shoulder, and that's not as accurate, but your your examiner will probably take it. This angle should be about 45 degrees to the ground. But a more accurate way to measure it is to take from the scapula, which is the bone right about here, down to the point of their shoulder and then back to their elbow. So this angle here should be about 90 degrees, which as you can see is about 90 degrees on him. If the angle of their shoulder is steeper than 90 degrees, so their shoulder is rotated down more, that will cause them to have a short and choppy stride and can cause sometimes concussion on their front legs. If the angle is less than 45 degrees, so that their shoulder is rotated this way, then they can have a bigger step and move through the shoulder more easily.
So for some pastern conformation, a good pastern would be at a 45-degree angle. So you would want the pastern to kind of be, at a 45-degree angle, because it decreases concussion, and that can decrease your chances of lameness and soundness issues. If you have a steeper pastern, then it can cause more concussion. If the pastern is short, then it can't cushion the horse's weight at all. If the horse's pastern is too long, then it's just weak.
For your rating, you're going to need to know 20 parts of the horse, and this includes the gaskin, the hock, the fetlock, the withers, the croup, and the pasterns. Here, this is the gaskin, where my hand is. It's big muscle. This is the hock. It's only on the back legs. It's his pointed part. The croup is up here. It's between about here and here. This is the croup. And here are the withers. This is what you put your saddle on, so hopefully
Yeah.
and here's the fetlock right here. You can recognize it because it has this little extra fringe of hair right there. And then here's the pastern.
The location of the eyes are on the side of the head of the horse because they are prey animals, so they cannot see directly in front of them, but they can see almost all the way back to here. So your horse can sometimes see a dressage whip or a lunge whip.
You measure a horse in hands, and hands are about 4 inches, and you'll measure them from their feet to their withers. You measure them on flat ground and with either a stick or a measuring tape. So Bandit here is 15-2 hands, so that means that he's 15 sets of 4 inches plus 2 inches. Okay, so the last thing you'll need to do for your D3 rating is you'll need to describe a mount that you've never seen before well enough for someone to pick it out of a crowd. So that includes markings, color, possible breed, conformation faults, gender, or other distinguishing characteristics.
For your D2, you're going to need to know 6 colors and 5 markings. Revy here has a little star in the middle of her forehead. She's a bay.
We good? Okay, this is Mitch, and Mitch has a blaze. He's an irregular blaze. He's a bay.
This is Mitch, and as you can see on his nose, right there, he has a snip, which is just a white colored mark on the nose that's disconnected from the blaze.
Okay. So the horse to my left is a Palomino, the one closest to me. And then a little bit farther, the horse to my right is a Red Roan.
This is Cody, and he is a flea-bitten gray horse.
This is Danny, and she's a chestnut. As you can see, this horse has socks on his front feet and erlemite dots above his hoofs.
This is Viola. She's a bay, and she has one stocking on her back right.